Welcome back, everyone. Today we are bringing some exciting and also upsetting news to some people. And that is that although the Amazon Lord of the Rings series has wrapped filming for season one, which we will see next September, they have released this news that they are moving to the UK for season two. So we will no longer be seeing the familiar landscape that we're used to and accustomed to in the Jackson trilogy, as well as what we will be seeing in season one of the TV show. And so I don't know what people are going to react to with this one. It may look a bit jarring because the landscapes aren't that similar, especially some of those mountainous areas in New Zealand. However, on the flip side, as this article points out, the Lord of the Rings setting is based on UK landscapes, at least in the mythology that Tolkien was creating. So some of the more purists are thinking this is a good move. But I'm sort of mixed because I don't want there to be a jarring continuity discrepancy between season one and season two of the TV show. And all of a sudden we're going to have to basically be reintroduced to settings and locations because they won't look the same. So that's my big concern with this move.
I agree. I'm with you. I don't.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder what's going on behind the scenes.
And this does come at the tail end of a big announcement from New Zealand's government that they were about to do some big investment into the New Zealand film industry because they had the expectation that Lord of the Rings, which the series is expected to at least go 5 seasons, would be filming the entirety of that show in New Zealand, and obviously the massive budget that is behind this show for season one is probably expected to grow each season, and so New Zealand's government thought that they were going to be getting a lot of this work directed their way, and now that it's completely abandoned New Zealand altogether, maybe they'll film a few bits in there, but the bulk of the production will be done in the UK. It's gonna be interesting to see how they're able to pull off this transition and if it's seamless or not. If we don't notice, if we're gonna have to like Google search like, oh, what was filmed in New Zealand and what was filmed in the UK, that's great. If we don't know, just watching it, that is gonna be just fine. But if it's jarring where all of a sudden a town, like if they're in a town somewhere and it looks completely different from season one to season two, we'll know it's because they switched locations, and it's just gonna completely pull you out of that
Yeah,
moment.
they're spending that much money on it, and they're gonna blow the continuity. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
well, we'll see.
But I will say I do hear the purists who are like, this is more in keeping with the backdrop for a true Tolkien Lord of the Rings experience.
Yeah. What volcanoes are in England?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
exactly. So
Or New Zealand.
yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how both the audience reacts and also just how they're able to do it on the production side, because I'm wondering if a lot of the production team is also kind of thrown for a loop here. Expecting to be working in a comfortable environment that they've just spent the majority of their last 2 years working in, and all of a sudden saying, no, we now need to go find locations in the UK, and we're going to be completely moving all the interior studio shots to the UK as well, which means they got to pack it up and bring it all over there. And it's kind of sad, really, because now when you go to visit, New Zealand and do some sort of Lord of the Rings experience, it's going to be a little bit. It's going to be missing some of the magic of it, especially as the series continues. You're not going to be able to visit all those locations by simply going to New Zealand. You're going to have to go back and forth, I guess, from the UK to New Zealand and try to get it all in there.
Yeah, fun trivia. No active volcanoes in the United Kingdom. 10 active volcanoes in New Zealand.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, maybe Tolkien didn't think about that, or maybe he was basing it on like maybe some magic was at play in his UK version of Middle Earth.
Hmm.
um, yeah, like there's definitely some flair for the backdrop. It's actually part of, I think, what so many non-fantasy and non-action movie uh, viewers really liked about the original trilogy was just how majestic the landscape looked while these characters were moving about. And some of
Yeah.
those scenes are really fun and cool, and they actually build to then when you get to the real tension, either combat or emotional tension. We've just flown over like an entire landscape of mountains or like an entire woods area or something, and then we get to this moment, and it adds to it. But don't get me wrong, there are some very nice scenery in the UK, but there's definitely going to be something different about it if they do some of those wide landscape shots.
Yeah.
And just to continue, I got a quick little one here. That is some of the places. I'll just throw it up on the screen real quick while we talk about it. And it's just kind of talking about areas that have been known to both be in the original trilogy and also people have seen them filming there. And it's just pictures of landscapes in these areas. And so, I think the first season we're going to be very familiar with some of those areas, and I think that's going to be very helpful for the show. And I'm glad they at least have that first season in New Zealand so that there is some of that bridging of the new with the old. But yeah, other than that, I'm not sure how to feel yet. I'm gonna have to see the finished product to make the final judgment on this one.
Ooh, here's someone in the comment section. As someone who works in the AKL film industry on a different show, I guess that's New Zealand.
Yeah.
Good riddance.
Oh.
LOTR, Amazon has treated us horribly down here. Not to mention they're the reason we're not allowed to have unions, guilds for the film industry in New Zealand. Look it up. It's literally called the Hobbit Law.
Wow. We covered a story about Amazon potentially being dangerous to their stunt workers.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's something else we got to look into because that is kind of par for the course for the Amazon company as a whole. But I was hoping that their film portion would be different, but I guess not. So definitely something to look into more. But that is interesting, and that person definitely must have been taking it all into consideration, thinking this was a TV show that has the biggest budget of all time, and it was basically greenlit for 5 seasons, unless something massive happens, like nobody watches it. So that's a big that is a big show, and what would be considered a dream job for a lot of people in the film industry. For him to say that means that there's something serious going on.
Yeah, there's a follow-up comment by someone else. In quotes, good riddance to you and your $500 million and 1,000 jobs. Yeah, right. You are unlikely to be in the industry or even from New Zealand. So we have some
Oh, okay. All right.
commenters challenging the other commenters.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna have to see a birth certificate or something.
Sure.
But yeah, that's it. That's what we got for this one. We'll see what happens when we actually get to see the show. But let us know what you think in the comments down below. Remember to like the video and subscribe for our next installment. And we'll see you all next time.
See ya.